Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Golden Echoes Hub. It's Charlotte here, and I'm so happy to be with you today for a very special story from my journey. I'm 80 now, sitting in my little seaside apartment in St. Augustine, Florida, where the ocean hums a gentle song outside my window. Today, I want to share with you the story of my 80th birthday. A day filled with love, surprises, and a celebration of life that reminded me how beautiful it is to grow older, surrounded by those who matter most. This story is called Celebrating 80, a surprise that lit up my life. And it's about the joy of family, the warmth of unexpected moments, and the gratitude that comes with looking back on a life well lived. So settle in with a warm cup of tea, maybe a cozy blanket, and let's go back to a sunny morning in March 2024, right here in St. Augustine. It was March 15, 2024, the day of my 80th birthday. I'd been in St. Augustine for a little over a year by then, having moved here at 79 after leaving my house in Asheville, North Carolina. The move had been bittersweet. I missed my garden, the magnolia tree I'd planted for my grandkids, and the memories of Tom that filled every corner of that house. But St. Augustine had become a new chapter for me. With its sandy beaches, warm sun, and the little rose plant on my balcony that I'd brought from Asheville. A cutting from the red rose that had started my healing journey at 66. I'd settled into a quiet routine here, taking walks by the ocean, knitting scarves for my grandkids, and chatting with my neighbors, who'd become dear friends. I wasn't expecting much for my 80th birthday. I thought I'd have a simple day. Maybe a phone call from Emily and Daniel, a card from the kids, and a slice of cake from the bakery down the street. I'd told Emily not to make a fuss. I'm too old for big parties, I'd said, laughing. Just come visit when you can. But deep down, I did feel a little pang of loneliness. Birthdays were always a time when I missed Tom the most. His silly tradition of waking me up with a song, the way he'd make me blueberry pancakes, the way he'd hold my hand and say, "Another year of loving you, Charlotte." I tried to push those feelings aside, focusing on the present, but I couldn't help wishing for a little bit of magic on my special day. That morning I woke up early, the sunlight streaming through my window, the sound of seagulls in the distance. I made myself a cup of tea and sat on my balcony, watching the waves roll in, the little rose plant blooming bright red beside me. I whispered to Tom, as I often did, "I'm 80 today, love. Can you believe it?" I felt a gentle breeze and I smiled. Imagining him smiling back at me, I decided to treat myself to a walk on the beach, so I slipped on my favorite blue cardigan, the one I'd worn on my first solo trip to Savannah, and headed out. My sandal in hand, the sand warm between my toes. I'd only been walking for a few minutes when I heard someone call my name. "Charlotte." I turned around, and there was my neighbor, Clara, a sweet woman in her 70s who'd become a close friend since I moved here. She was waving at me, a big smile on her face, holding a small bouquet of daisies. "Happy birthday," she said, handing me the flowers. I was touched. She'd remembered my birthday from a conversation we'd had months ago. "Oh, Clara, you didn't have to," I said, hugging her. She laughed and said, "It's not every day you turn 80. You deserve to be celebrated." We walked together for a while, chatting about the weather, the flowers, and the little things that made St. Augustine so special. I felt a warmth in my heart, grateful for her kindness. When I got back to my apartment, I found a note slipped under my door. It was from Emily, written in her neat handwriting. Mama, meet me at the beach pavilion at 2 p.m. I have a little surprise for you. Love, Emily. My heart skipped a beat. I hadn't expected Emily to come all the way from Raleigh. I'd thought she was too busy with work and the kids to make the trip. I felt a flutter of excitement, wondering what she had planned. I spent the morning tidying up, putting Clara's daisies in a vase and picking out a dress to wear, a soft lavender one that Tom had always loved. I looked in the mirror, smoothing out my white hair, and smiled. You're 80, Charlotte, I said to myself. Let's see what this day has in store. At 2, I walked to the beach pavilion, a little wooden structure overlooking the ocean, with picnic tables and fairy lights strung along the roof. When I got there, I stopped in my tracks, my hand flying to my mouth. The pavilion was decorated with balloons and streamers, a banner hanging across the front that read, "Happy 80th birthday, Grandma," in big, colourful letters. And there, waiting for me, was my whole family. Emily, her husband Mark, Lily and Ethan, along with Daniel, who'd flown in from California. They shouted, "Surprise!" as I walked up, their faces beaming with joy. I felt tears spring to my eyes as I hugged them all, one by one, my heart so full I thought it might burst. Mama, we couldn't let your 80th birthday pass without a celebration, Emily said, her arm around me. Daniel grinned, holding up a camera. We're making memories today, Mum, he said. Lily and Ethan ran to me, wrapping their arms around my waist. We made the banner, Grandma, Lily said, pointing proudly. Ethan held up a little drawing he'd made, a picture of me with a big smile, surrounded by hearts. I love you, Grandma, he said, and I kissed his forehead, my tears falling onto his hair. The afternoon was a whirlwind of love and laughter. Emily had planned everything. She'd brought a cake from my favorite bakery, a vanilla one with buttercream frosting, decorated with little sugar roses. Mark set up a table with sandwiches, fruit and lemonade. And Daniel played music on a little speaker. Old songs from the 50s that Tom and I used to dance to. We ate, we talked, we laughed. The ocean sparkling in the background. The fairy lights twinkling as the sun began to set. Lily and Ethan pulled me onto the sand to dance, twirling me around to the music, their giggles filling the air. I felt young again, my heart light, my worries forgotten. As the evening went on, Emily handed me a small box wrapped in blue paper. This is from all of us, she said, her eyes soft. I opened it carefully, and inside was a silver locket, engraved with the words, 80 years of love. When I opened the locket, there was a tiny photo of Tom on one side and a photo of Lily and Ethan on the other. I held it to my chest, tears streaming down my face. It's perfect, I whispered. Thank you. Daniel put his arm around me and Emily hugged me from the other side, the kids piling on until we were all laughing through our tears. We ended the night with a toast. Mark raised a glass of lemonade and everyone followed. To Charlotte, he said, the heart of our family, who's taught us what it means to live with love, courage, and joy. Happy 80th birthday. We clinked our glasses, the sound mingling with the crash of the waves, and I looked around at their faces. My children, my grandkids, my family. And I felt a gratitude so deep it took my breath away. I thought of Tom, imagining him watching us, his smile as bright as the stars above. We did good, love, I whispered to him in my heart. My 80th birthday was a day I'll never forget. A day that reminded me how much love I have in my life. How every year, every challenge, every joy has led me to this moment. Turning 80 wasn't just about getting older. It was about celebrating the life I've lived, the family I've built, the love that surrounds me. It was a day that lit up my life, a beautiful reminder that growing older is a gift, one to be cherished with every beat of our hearts. That's my story for today, dear friends. If you've ever had a birthday that filled your heart, or if you have a special way you celebrate life, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Golden Echoes Hub. I'll see you soon.